The latest on the government shutdown. Well, what about the crypto exchange shutdowns? Yeah, I've got updates for you on that too. Ripple CTO David Schwartz explains his role in the new company that was formed. Yeah, it's just like strategy, except instead of buying BTC, they're buying XRP. We'll talk XRP price along with gold and
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
along with an update to yesterday's major story regarding XRP. Ugh, some red up on the screen. I don't like to see that. And guess what? Even gold is seeing some red today, too. The government screwing everyone over. Now, you know the deal. Before we get into the crypto news, you, the viewer, MetaMost, it's share your comments at the beginning of every video. Reverend Funky's hanging out with us, a friend from Canada, says if you're going to open up a crypto exchange, have your own web services. You should be solely responsible. Choop, choop. Oh, we say that at the end. Yeah, the thing is, though, I'm sure having your own web service would be expensive, and maybe you have backup services. The problem is these exchanges try to operate with maximum efficiency of profit. So remember when Coinbase couldn't operate when BTC was going nuts? Yeah, because they didn't want to run all the servers. They wanted to save money. So would exchanges do this? Probably not. Why? Because they're greedy AF. But let me ask you this. We'll talk about the shutdown later. Vince Socratic says, I'm thankful for all the drama with the exchanges lately. It shows how unreliable and shady they are. Time to look at better custody solutions. It's not just a custody problem. It's what if you can't buy? Think about this. What if all of a sudden all the cryptos start roaring because the government shutdown ends and Amazon Web Services aren't working correctly for these exchanges? You can't buy or sell because you can't even frickin' log in. So we're not even talking about custody now. We're talking about just using these damn platforms. Bitcoin, 109,892. ETH is 39.24. BNB is at 1087. Well, XP is at 244. Big news for the XRP strategy. Like what I did there. Because we've got now a company that's just like strategy for XRP. Will David Schwartz be involved? I've got that for you. Altcoin season, 27 out of 100. BTC dominance, not going to move much until we get regs, ETFs, and, well, you know the deal, rate cuts. By the way, rate cut set for the end of this month. We've got a 99% chance of getting one of them. Overall in the crypto market, volume is very healthy right now, $172 billion. We still got a little bit of fear in the market at 33 out of 100. I can understand that. Cryptos across the board have pulled back from their recent highs, and I put recent in quotes, but you know the deal. Pumps and dumps. This is a minor move. But first, the update to the major story. After I posted that story about Ripple's big news with their XRP strategy, I've got an update. He did not, I repeat, he did not dump it to the open market. He sold it to Evernorth. Now, this is good, except it's very little good. Why? Because this was XRP already in circulation. So you took XRP that's already in circulation and put it into someone else's hands. It would have been better if Chris Larson gave them cash so that they could buy XRP on the open market. Not only did I pin that comment at the top of the video to make sure that everyone saw the new updates, I also created a separate post. So even I make mistakes, and when I do, I try to correct them as much as possible. In fact, I went through like all these comments, and look, here's all my replies right here. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I put a whole bunch of replies down letting everyone know what's going on so that you didn't feel like you missed out on the news. Government shutdown funding bill fails the 11th vote. Now, it's not just that this vote failed, but 7 people decided not even to vote at all. So, you know what my next line is going to be? Vote all these fuckers out. The Senate is open for an 11th time on Monday. They rejected a GOP-backed measure to reopen the government, blocking the funding bill from moving forward, with no new supporters indicating negotiations remain at a stalemate. We have not, I repeat, we have not gotten one person to cross the line since the vote started. And we, yes, just had our 11th vote. The government shutdown stretched into a long time. I think this is the 3rd longest ever. Monday, October 20th, which needed 60 votes to pass, received 50 and 43 no votes. Why? Because 7 people decided not to. What a fucking joke, man. You know what? Show up on the Hill, vote. It doesn't matter if you vote yes or no, just vote. Here's the price for gold. Couple peaks right here, a little bit of profit taken afterwards, but the overall trend on gold is strong. Why? Players are hedging against the action, right? They're hedging against the volatility. Gold still above 4,000 at $4,190. Oh, Amazon Web Services outages, crashes MetaMask, Coinbase goes dark, and a whole bunch of other ones. Coinbase remained partially offline throughout Monday afternoon with users unable to access core trading and transfer funds. So, again, what happens if all of a sudden government shutdown ends, volume starts going bonkers, and you can't even access your platform? OpenSea encountered sustained technical problems as the NFT marketplace's upstream service providers continued experiencing issues. Company CTO Chris Mattern stated the platform itself remained operational, but dependency on affected third-party services led to intermittent site unavailability. MetaMask users reported seeing zero balances in their wallets, causing widespread concern among the community. The decentralized wallet application relies on Infer to receive blockchain data from users across multiple networks. Infer services remain disrupted across ETH, Base, Polygon, Optimism, Oregon, Lana, Scroll due to what? The AWS problems. Base, Coinbase's chain, yes, is also having problems. Yo. So it's not just custody that we got to worry about. We got to make sure that we can actually trade the action. And Amazon Web Services is one of the biggest provider out there for web services for business. So if that goes down, it doesn't matter if you got custody or not, because you can't even freaking log in. And a bunch of you have been emailing me. And it's not just crypto exchanges. Banks run on AWS. Almost everything runs on AWS, and a lot of people can't access it. Speaking of exchanges, Coinbase acquires crypto platform Echo in a $375 million deal. That's right. They don't want to spend money on redundancy web services. Instead, they want to gobble it up and just be greedy AF. Coinbase, in its latest expansion effort, has agreed to acquire Echo, a blockchain platform designed to let crypto companies quickly raise capital directly on chain. According to a recent Wall Street Journal report, the deal is worth $375 million. Okay, this is cool, right? Because we're starting to see a little bit more consolidation in the space, but then again, you're starting to see more eggs in one basket. Now, I want to hear from y'all. How many of you have been unable to access your crypto exchange or something crypto or banking related here recently because of the AWS shutdown? Ripple CTO David Schwartz ends his speculation over his role in the new $1 billion XRP Treasury. The firm created a merger with Armada Acquisition Corp and is designed to operate like strategy, the sailor strategy, but for XRP, absorbing the supply from the open market and positioning itself as a long-term holder of the cryptocurrency. The announcement, of course, created immediate buzz as it was framed that Schwartz will join the project. However, within hours, the current CTO pushed back, clarifying he will advise the venture. Ooh. Look at this. I've got his tweet here and everything you've seen in this video and all my other videos linked in the description below. Wolf of Wall Street's put Ripple CTO David Schwartz to join new XRP Treasury firm Evernorth following a $1 billion raise. David Schwartz says, I'm not making any commitments past the end of the year that put significant demands on my daily schedule. Basically saying the dude wants to hang out with family and he wants to keep working on his XRPL action. Yeah, remember he built that mega computer with the 9950X, a little Ryzen 9 action? Yeah, so that's where he's going to focus his efforts. So no, David Schwartz is going to do nothing more than advise for now. Going over to XRP price, I'm going to share with you the 7-day chart. You notice something? Yeah, the same resistance levels over the last week. Why? Because in the last week, we haven't made any progress with the government. As I shared that with you earlier, as 7 senators decided not even to vote at all. Would you be able to not participate at work? Would you be able not to show up? Would you? No, you would be fired. That's right. So we should vote all these fuckers out. So yes, the resistance point is exactly the same as we saw it a week ago, as the market right now is trying to digest the future. Now, that being said, we have seen some increase in prices, which is good, better than the 220, 230s that we were seeing. But 244 is nothing too excited right now. The XRP community really starts warming up at that $3 mark, and I know y'all are going to be excited to see it again. But when is the government shutdown going to end? Rumors have it that we're going to go into November. So for those of you looking at DCA, for those of you that maybe bought north of 3, this looks like a great opportunity for you to get those averages down. Volume for XRP is 4.8 billion in the last 24 hours, up almost 30% here, which is actually pretty juicy. Overall in the crypto market, volume is up 10%. So traders right now are favoring XRP. And yes, XRP finally has a company like strategy where they're going to buy and hodl XRP. And again, I made the addendums to the story, posted it in the story description. I pinned it at the top. I made a separate post and I replied to your comments, making sure that yes, as I get new information, I bring it to you. So right now, XRP price is what? Range bound because of the government. Yeah, great. You know, the Amazon Web Service thing is actually a really big problem because think about this. How many times have we had problems with Coinbase and other exchanges out there? Remember when the BTC ETFs were going and things were roaring? People couldn't access it. Remember when there was that flash crash on Sunday, Bloody Sunday? Yeah, a lot of people couldn't get in and even buy on those dips. What about the most recent crash? A lot of you put orders in and they weren't executed until way later. Seems a little shady here. Almost as if these exchanges are preparing different excuses for when the market can't play the action. See, because that's the thing. If all of a sudden XRP is way down, you want to buy and you want to be able to log in to buy, but your exchange might not let you. So what's my best advice? Work with multiple exchanges. So maybe if one is down, at least you can gobble something up over here. Well, what about, selling? What about if all of a sudden XRP or your favorite crypto start roaring and you're like, bro, I want to take some profits? Same thing. You see my point here. All of a sudden, we're finding out that these exchanges are reliant upon AWS. So not only now do we have to make sure that Coinbase wants to spend the money on keeping their operations rolling, we have to rely on who Coinbase relies on, and yeah, you see how that's going. But let me know definitely down below if you were affected by the AWS shutdown. Maybe I'll share your comment at the beginning of the next video. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Now, I am in Guatemala for a bit more time, so let's see if the government shutdown impedes my way going home. My daughter is going to be coming here soon. Awesome. Haven't seen her in a while. This will be nice. And a lot of you out here are wondering, bro, government shutdown. And I'm here to say, look, since this started, they have not garnered any new support. You got people not even showing up. You got the people in the House of Representatives now. They haven't done shit since the 19th of September because they can't do anything because the bill's in the Senate right now. You do have a crypto roundtable happening tomorrow. Oh, yeah, baby. I've got that information for you as well. Remember, Ripple is represented in that. I have that video linked at the end here along with my channel, the second channel where, yes, I'm sharing with you all my Guatemala adventures. Do me a solid, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And choo-choo what? Well, if I worked on AWS, I wouldn't be able to say it, but I don't. So, choo-choo bitches.